Welcome to the DFS Breakdown Show for the Masters, brought to you by Billy Ho Sports. Please smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Come on, y'all. Let's grow! Hello, Billy Ho here. Welcome to part 2 of the Masters Breakdown, 7,900 and on down. We are going to get started, and we're going to go right into it here. We're going to kick it off with Mr. Abraham Answer. 7,900, Abe Answer. A WD from the Valero is very concerning considering he sounded like he really wanted to play. And he said something about being gutted and all that stuff. Hasn't been exactly lighting it up in 22, but he's looked a lot better. His form's a lot better. Bent grass greens are his favorite putting surface, so that's a good thing. He has a 13th and a 26th in his previous 2 appearances, which is also good. And we're just going to have to monitor his status and see if he's healthy. He never gave a reason why he WD'd last week, but it seemed important enough. Next guy up is Russell Henley, 7,800. 7th in the model. Henley looking popular, very popular. He has all the tools needed to play well here. He's also top 5 in pretty much all the categories you can see. This is actually a new model that I ran, and I'm going to go over it here after a while. This is a windy model. So he does drop significantly. I think he was 7th in the previous model. So he did drop to 21st after I added in the wind and went more long-term. This is a 12-month model. Sorry about that, folks. But he's got some good finishes here. He had a couple of top 15s back in the day. Hasn't played in a couple. So he might be a good cashish, balanced build guy. 7.8, Sergio Garcia. Dude hasn't made the weekend at Augusta since he won it. Weird, right? Crushing it off the tee this year so far, gaining over 3 strokes in each of his tournaments he's played. Surprisingly gaining with the putter. So is this the year Sergio gets back to the Masters form that he's displayed in the past? Let's see, 7.7K. Matt Fitzpatrick will be a popular play in this range, probably with Henley. 6 straight cuts made at the Masters. It's kind of surprising he's been around that long. He's been in good form. He's ranking pretty high in the model here. 28th. He's 12th in par 5 scoring, which we like. And the DK points are all right. So the short game is there. He's a good putter. Not so much bent. He's a little more of a Bermuda guy, I think. But he's in play. Tommy Fleetwood dropped dramatically when I ran the windy model for some reason. You would have thought his record would have been, of course, he only has 10 rounds, and he had a terrible 21 season. So I'm going to kind of ignore those numbers. Ownership's going to dictate play on Tommy. He has a high probability to make the cut here, but I'm not so sure about the DK scoring upside. A lot of good Euro players in this range, so he's probably going to go a little bit overlooked. 7,600, Corey Connors, coming in 25th in the model. Number 2 in good drives. Greens gain, number 2. Strokes gain approach, 16th. That's all things that he does well. Back-to-back top 10s at the Masters. And I think he's going to be able to put the ball in the right spots on these greens. So I'm not too worried about that. I think he's a strong candidate to make the cut. Ownership is going to be high. I do worry he's worn himself out a little bit, but at least he got an early tee time Sunday. Him and Spieth were able to get out of Dodge and get some extra rest. 7.6K, Paul Casey. He hasn't really contended since 2018. That unfortunate back injury, 2 holes in the match play, really hurt. It killed me that week. He's had 2 weeks to get over that, so he's likely going to be good to go. I think people will worry about the health, so he might be low owned in the single entry and 3 max tournaments. So it's going to be kind of a wait and see attitude with me. If he shows he's healthy, he'll be honest about it. He's a stand-up kind of guy, so I'm not too worried about that. 7,500 also is Justin Rose. And question you got to ask yourself with Rosie is, are we going to get good Rose or are we going to get bad Rose? He is 11th in good drives and 12th in par fours, 23rd in birdie or better. Pretty solid. Good Rose, you're going to get a top 10, and bad Rose, he's likely to miss the cut. Your guess is as good as mine how that goes. Same goes for 7,500 Webb Simpson. Same boat there. I don't feel like I'm going to get to either of those guys, be honest with you. So I'm going to jump down to Patrick Reed at 7,400 and tell you I'll probably not get to him either because he's been so awful. He is 6th in short game. And we all know he's a good fit for this course, and he is a model breaker, and I've been playing him off and on, just FOMO, waiting on him for him to click. So I'm going to give him one more go. I'm not going to play him in a lot of lineups, but I might throw him in a 3 max and a single entry low end tournament just to have a piece. 74K, my man, Billy Ho, playing the kind of golf that won him the FedEx Cup in 2014 at the end of that season. His history at the Masters, not all that, but maybe this year he makes a jump. Good chance to make the cut. And with Billy, he's got kind of the limited upside. Bent grass is not his jam, in my opinion. He's more of a Bermuda, Florida guy. So play at your own risk there. Another guy play at your own risk who I'll likely have some is Bubba. Feeling pretty good about Bubba. He's a risky play, obviously. Mid-20s finish would not be the worst result for this price range. And he's got basically the most win equity in this little range here when it comes to the Masters. He does have 2 wins. And he's been striking it pretty well. He kills it off the tee. So we just got to hope his short game and he makes some putts and he can get you a top 10. Next guy with top five equity, in my opinion, is Mark Leishman, 7,300, a risk reward play. Great fall and a solid 2 months to begin 2022. We've seen a dip in his form over the last month, and that gives me pause. So I don't know that I'm going to get into a whole lot of Mark Leishman. But after that, I think we're going to speed up a little bit. I'm going to pair up Power and Kokrak, 7,200. Both have good skills, but I'm not liking the fit. Power, this course is going to play long. We know about Power and the longer courses. So they're both a pass to me. Kokrak just doesn't have the short game. 7,100 Siwoo, low-key good course history here. I'm going to have some of him. He made a pretty nice run at Valero, and he's probably the guy I'm going to play most in this little low-end range here. 7,100, that's a good price. Siwoo Kim. Next guy up, Bobby Mack. Well, we'll go Luke List first. I got him down here. He's Luke List already, struggles putting, and he has no history here, and bent grass is not bent grass, is his worst by far surface pass. Bobby Mack, 7K, left-handed golfer, 12th last year, and a bomber all things that I like. He's flashing a little bit of form at Valero as well. He's definitely in play. 7K Cam Young, he can take advantage of that distance this week. Number one in my model in distance. He's a guy I thought I might play a wait and see on, but he's game. He's got birdie or better DK points, par 4 scoring, and hits it a mile, hits the required shots too. So it's just not all about the big stick. Interesting guy to me. I might have a piece of him. These two guys here, Molly and Fleetwood at 69. I'm out on both of those. Lee Westwood is probably a good cut maker. He makes a lot of cuts here anymore. He used to contend, but I think he's a little bit past that phase now. Gary Woodland is interesting. He's been playing lights out golf and in great form, but his course history here is not good. So it's going to be hard to say where I land on him. I just, this game might not be a fit. Maybe it's just the contours of the undulating fairways because the ball's above your feet, below your feet. Maybe he struggles there. I don't know. Kisner, Na, and Harmon all at 6,800. You can throw all of them in the same bucket. They can all make the cut. They can all get hot with the putter. So I wouldn't argue with playing any of them. Harris English has withdrawn from what I hear, so we skip him. 6,700 EVR and Hoagie. I think EVR withdrew in his only appearance. I don't remember what happened. I think he might have just took like a 50 on a hole or something stupid and got mad and threw his clubs and went home. Don't know. Don't care. Not going to have either one of them. Hoagie's not long enough. Seabez was the other guy I thought could make the cut. With the course playing longer and maybe a little wetter, he's going to have a hard time, but he does have 2 made cuts. So, any more than that, I don't know that I'm going to get down in this range. Just to recap the 7Ks, Henley and Connors are the 2 most highly owned. They're 18%, pushing 20. That's along with a little bit lower, more in the 15 range, is Fitzy, Leishman, and Siwoo also getting some play. And that's all the guys I want to talk about. But I did want to mention, all right, I'm going to do a quick recap here since I took a look at the weather. And the weather is as such. We're going to get heavy rains on Tuesday. That is looking like close to an inch. And Wednesday overnight into Thursday morning a little bit. So the course is going to be a little softer, but this wind is very concerning. And we'll keep track of that on you. So what I did was I ran this model here, which is over the last 12 months, and I got all the windy conditions to go with my rankings and all my good stuff that I mentioned in the first video. And here's what we have. I like John. Of course, John Rahm's always going to be up top of any motto, but Patrick Cantlay, good in the wind. Sam Burns, JT always up there. Sung Jae, Neiman, and Power. That is interesting, but the only drawback to him is 41 in driving distance, which is actually not as bad as I thought. Might be giving another look at old famous Seamus. I don't know. Matt Wolf, no. We know about him. He had a couple of good tournaments in the fall, so I'm not too hip on him. But this is just real quick. I wanted to show this to you and just give you a heads up on the weather and keep. Well, that's all I'm going to cover for my part 2 of the Masters show. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got anything out of it. Keep an eye on that weather, and I may actually be putting out a Wednesday show with some last minute ownership and maybe some pivots and update on the weather along with tee times, because I think that might matter. They don't do 1 in 10 unless there is a weather problem. So they're going to just run threesomes at 8 o'clock in the morning all the way to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So until Wednesday, this is Billy Ho signing off. Peace.